never seen a fire that huge, that intense.
A massive 3-alarm fire is seen for miles across the metro, a construction site engulfed in flame.
Black smoke, just so high up in the air, like skyscraper high.
Within the last 30 minutes, fire officials found the body of one person, one other still unaccounted for. Several construction workers were hurt, jumping to save their lives from the flames.
As this fire developed, that a number of the construction workers were actually leaping and jumping from the second and third story building.
Denver 7 breaking news starts right now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this busy night. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Jacqueline Allen. The fire started just after noon today. 50 construction workers were on site working on a new complex. Fire crews are still working to identify the body that was found.
This all happened at 18th and Emerson, Denver's uptown neighborhood. This is right across the street from St. Joseph's Hospital.
Denver 7 has team coverage tonight on this massive fire. Mark Stewart is looking at the impact on that neighborhood.
We're going to start with Lance Hernandez with the fire investigation. Lance, this is going to take some time.
Stand by.
We learned moments ago that fire crews found the body of one of the 2 men who were unaccounted for in the charred wreckage of that apartment building that caught fire just after noon today. Now they are still searching for a second person who is unaccounted for. We can tell you that that fire broke out on the 3rd floor. According to investigators, there were a number of construction workers up there, about 50 on the scene on various levels of that apartment building that was under construction, and somehow that fire started. They don't know how it started yet, but there is some speculation by some of the employees that it might have been a cigarette. Now, we had some video shot by a witness a little bit earlier today that showed the intensity of those flames, reaching 100 to 200 feet up into the sky. A number of witnesses told us they hadn't seen anything like it. It was a very intense blaze. A number of construction workers stuck on the 3rd and 4th floor had to jump. Several of them were injured. One is in critical condition. A number of people who were on the ground trying to rescue those folks also suffered injuries, broken bones, trying to catch them and break their falls. Now, the mayor was out here a little bit earlier today. He extended his condolences to the families involved. He was down in Colorado Springs when he got word about the fire up here. We also talked to Greg Pixley from Denver Fire Department, and he told us that they're going to continue working through the evening.
Fortunately, there is the need to continue our search. We had a report that were 2 individuals that had not been accounted for yet. So as we continue this investigation, we're going to do our best to hopefully make sure that this individual is not here.
A very tragic fire touching 6 different buildings. One of them completely destroyed. That's the one where they found one of the victims a little bit earlier today. They are continuing their search now for a second individual who is still unaccounted for. Now, the fire spread from embers and wind to nearby buildings. One of them ended up getting some fire on the inside, several others some smoke damage, and of course a number of vehicles parked nearby also heavily damaged. But again, 2 people unaccounted for. One of them has been found, the body of one of those individuals. They're continuing their search this evening. Reporting live at 18th and Emerson, Lance Hernandez, Denver 7.
Thank you, Lance. Now, we still don't know what caused the fire, but I want you to take a look at this video. This was shot last year at that same construction site. You can see they used a lot of wood. Fire officials say that's what caused the fire to be so intense.
Anytime you have a construction site that has exposed wood, we all know what can do when it's heated up. And we had multiple floors of wood that were being exposed to the fire, and the fire took off quite rapidly.
Now, coming up tonight on Denver 7 News at 6, we talk with an expert on construction sites to get an insider look at how investigators are figuring out the cause.
Now, this fire was intense, so it's not just the construction site that was damaged. Surrounding buildings were impacted as well by the fire. 6 buildings in that neighborhood were damaged in some way.
And Denver fire crews say at least 30 cars in nearby parking lots and alleyways, they were all damaged or destroyed. Construction equipment and even 3 fire trucks were also damaged, proving just how intense these flames were.
Denver 7's Mark Stewart continues our team live coverage tonight. This caused a lot of commotion in already very busy part of Denver, Mark.
And Shannon, as we come on at 5, we are still a distance away. As you well know, Uptown is a busy neighborhood. It's an up-and-coming neighborhood, but not today. There was a lot of anxiety, and at this point, a good part of the city is still at a standstill.
A firestorm on the streets of Denver.
I heard really loud bangs. Sounds like transformers blowing. I'm probably close to a gunshot.
A construction site in flames. Cars on fire.
Everyone on Emerson Street, walk back to 17th Avenue.
And people fleeing for safety.
We heard the sounds of people running. We heard screams.
Moments of mayhem near 18th and Emerson.
We saw smoldering material. We actually kind of stomped out. We got close enough that the water was kicking back and spritzing us.
Many people in the perimeter, young and old, all told to stay away for fear of future explosions. Signs on nearby businesses reading closed. Daily routines now detoured by flames and smoke.
Oh yeah, black smoke. Just so high up in the air, like skyscraper high. It's just billowing out of the place.
Chaos in this neighborhood is met with concern for the people closest to the center. A fire that's now epic in so many people's minds.
For me personally, I've been here a decade and I've never seen an explosion or a job site, incident or accident that's drawn this many emergency personnel.
A lot of people use Uptown to cut through between downtown and Cherry Creek. If you can avoid it, do so, because there are still many road closures, even all of these hours later. We're live in Uptown tonight. Mark Stewart, Denver 7.
Now, the Red Cross is helping about 200 people because the evacuation area includes the entire 1800 block of Emerson Street. So they set up an evacuation center that's at St. Charles Recreation Center on North Lafayette.
And this